Hello, everybody down there. This is Paolo Nespoli speaking. Still up here, unfortunately. I was supposed to fly last night. There was a problem with the aircraft, and after 6 hours of flight, we came back again to Los Angeles. I'm sorry. I would have really have loved being there with you tonight, but sometimes things don't work out the way we plan. Though the day was not lost, I took the opportunity to come and visit SpaceX. Very nice facility, a lot of things happening here. So really excited that commercial entities start working and going in space, and everything is good. I would like to start by thanking the university, the International Space University, for having requested ESA to let me come there with you, along with the University of South Australia, and a big thank to the Italian community, to the Neva organization set up by Tony Simeone. They are doing a lot of work, and I'm really looking forward to come and seeing you. Grazie anche a voi, grazie Tony, grazie a tutti per avermi dato questa opportunità. Spero di essere con voi il prima possibile e di passare tempo con voi e divertirmi. So, here I am in electronic format. I think we will have the opportunity to exchange a few thoughts and answer a few questions. I'm ready for your questions.
That's great. Hi, Paolo. This is Scott Madry from ISU, the moderator of the panel. We're so happy to have you with us virtually and look forward to having you in person. I have just a couple of things I was thinking I wanted to ask you. First of all, tell me what kind of activities are you directly involved in now in your work at ESA?
Well, I came back from a long-duration space flight a year and a half ago. I've been busy in returning to normal life, and what I've been doing in the last year actually is to go to several places and talk to universities, to schools, to general public, and talk about space and what it means going to space, the nice and educational part of this, but also the science part and the technological part. So I've been really busy. I've done a lot of presentation around the world, most of it in Italy, of course, but a lot of presentation. I think this is very important because when people really listen to you and understand what we are doing, they are very supportive, and we need to do this. I'm ready to continue with my task and job as an astronaut. I have also technical tasks that I'm carrying. I'm doing for the European Astronaut Corps, and so I'm looking forward to keep working for space, and God knows, maybe even going to space again.
Well, we certainly hope so. You mentioned education, and this is very important for us. Obviously, as a space university, could you perhaps mention how you see the role of education, of finding ways to inspire and get young people to be interested in science and technical and engineering fields so that we can build the next generation of the space workforce?
Well, I read somewhere that during the 60s and 70s in the United States, because of the fact that NASA was going to the moon, in the United States there were 1 million more people working in the technological fields that would have been if the Americans would not have gone to the moon. I think this is very important. It's very important for a society that part of the society concentrates and takes care of technology or of doing basic research or doing this kind of scientific activities. It's a little bit of a pity that today our media tend to put glamour on figures like singers, actors, basketball player, or I don't know, in Australia probably cricket players, and do not focus on our people that do job in labs and at the end carry out a very exciting life. So showing to people that yes, it's exciting going in space, but it's also exciting working for space as a scientist, as a technician, as a designer, as an engineer, as a physicist. There is a wide range of technical activities that somebody can do in space. This is, I think, very important. And I find that every time that I talk about this with people really look at me with open eyes, and I see this little sparkle, this little twinkle in their eyes, and I think we give them hope. Hope that they can do an interesting life in the future and be rewarded for what they really like to do, if it is in the scientific field.
Oh, that's a great response. You're one of the people who have been fortunate enough to actually get to fly in space, to get to do a long duration mission. I'm sure it's very hard, but can you mention one event or thought or time that had the most impact on you when you were up in space? And is there one moment that crystallized that experience for you?
Well, it's actually interesting because there are a lot of moments, a lot of things that are special. I mean, going to space is really special. The departure, all the things that happen every time. But I think, strangely enough, one of the things that makes it really strange and difficult, it was that, for example, my mother died while I was in space, and this was a very strange moment. I mean, people query me about this many times, and I tell them that there is not a good moment for one of your parents to die and you're not there, or you could be there. It doesn't really matter. It's not a good moment. It forces you to think about life, to think about what you have done, what you're going to do, what is your mark. And I was up there when this happened, and I saw from one side a lot of people getting clues, trying to protect me, trying to protect my family, my mother, my brother and sister back on Earth. And also I felt, I was still doing something important. I was still doing something that was important for all of us. And nevertheless, this situation. So I think I've been blessed in many ways. I was able to do what I wanted to do as a kid, going to space. This is not easy, not because people cannot do it, but because statistically speaking, it's extremely complicated, and you never know why somebody can do it and some other people cannot. There is no real good reason. At least today is like that. So I think. The bottom line is that it's very difficult to isolate a single moment. I think maybe this one was the strongest moment for me, but of course I enjoyed every single day I was up there, and it's really a beautiful place to be.
So tell me, where do you think human spaceflight is going? We have many changes, the retirement of shuttle. Where do you think human spaceflight is heading?
Well, I've learned one thing, that in this business, it's very difficult to predict the future. I mean, I've seen things happening where they were not supposed to happen, and things not happening where they were not supposed to happen. I know one thing. I know that we have this engine inside us as humans that makes us not being able to refrain from exploring, not being able to be satisfied with what we know. So if we look at this and we look at it with the eyes of history, we have seen that this has been a very powerful engine that made us risk our lives to go and find out things that maybe seem to be trivial or not necessary or whatever. And then some of them turn out to be vital, turn out to be the key that change a culture, a nation. So to me, yeah, maybe this year, next year, and the next 10 years, we might have problems, maybe yes, maybe not. But it's unavoidable that we will continue the exploration of our solar system. It's unavoidable that we will go to Mars. It's unavoidable that we will go even further. When? I don't know, but I'm sure we will.
Well, that's fantastic. So, Paolo, thank you so very much for joining us. We look forward to having you here in person. I know everyone here is very interested by your comments, and I would just like to say grazie mille.
Grazie, Scott. Thank again to you. Thank you for your patience and flexibility. Thank you again to the International Space University, to the University of Southern Australia, and of course to the Italian community, to NEVA. Looking forward to be there and be with you and share a little bit the summer. Here it's winter, and see I have a coat and everything, and I look at you, and I'm looking forward to enjoy your culture, your flavors, and your sun.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao, saluti a tutti, arrivederci, a presto.